Hello, this is just a brief presentation regarding our new school policy around BVC's preventing bullying. I wanted to start by just explaining our current aims and objectives in relation to preventing bullying within our school and to give you some context into the actions that we've taken to date and also spend a little bit of time exploring what the future holds and what our intentions are moving forwards. So we are part of our expectations for learning policy around anti-bullying was due for renewal, and we've used it as an opportunity to really think about our practice as a school and to gather the voice of other parents and students to really make sure that the systems that we have in place are suitable, they're robust, and they're doing what they need to do in terms of making sure that we are doing everything we can to prevent bullying within our school. As a senior leadership team across the school, we've spent a lot of time considering this policy and considering the steps that need to be taken across the entire school to make sure that we are all committed to preventing bullying in our school. So, as part of that, we believe that all governors, school staff, students, parents, carers need to have an understanding of what bullying and child-on-child abuse are and also their impact. And I'm going to spend a brief moment going through that in a second. We need to make sure that we're providing a school environment where bullying and child-on-child abuse is absolutely not tolerated and where all of our students feel safe to tell somebody, whether that is another child, an adult, their parent, so on. It's important that across the college, in all aspects of our curriculum, we're promoting an anti-bullying message and we're encouraging all members of the school community to act responsibly in accordance with our school and policy around responsibility, being respectful, showing resilience, and that our students are demonstrating respect to others at all times, and to really make sure that our procedures are robust for reporting and dealing with bullying and that they're understood by everybody and that they're carried out by everybody. So, thinking about our definition of bullying, over Anti-Bullying Week in November, all of our students spent some time reflecting on their personal understanding and class understandings of what bullying is. And we've used that information, and the information that our students provided us to develop a kind of response and definition as a school, an agreed response. And that was shared with our students through an assembly a few weeks ago, and it's been followed up through our weekly activities at Mentor Time. The key elements of the definition of bullying that I want to highlight to you as parents is that bullying is persistent, it's deliberate, and it's repetitive. So one-off incidents within school, whilst they really are can be serious and they absolutely need to be dealt with, it's important that we're not categorising them within the definition of bullying and we're distinguishing between the two. And in our conversations with our students and our children, we need to be being really clear about that use of language. Like I say, one-off incidents are serious and they need to be dealt with. They're examples of child-on-child abuse. However, they wouldn't necessarily fit the remit of bullying. So bullying is defined as persistent, deliberate, and repetitive. The policy has all of this information in it, and that's accessible on our school website. So I'm just going to skim through some of the important topics, some of the things I think are particularly relevant to parents that you can pick up on your own time and have a read through of the policy at your leisure. So I thought it was also important as parents to really understand that in the event of a disclosure, actually, how would we manage that? So if yourselves or a child reported that they or a friend was experiencing bullying, what actions should we as a school be taking? And it comes back to making sure that it's robust. So this has been shared with all of our staff, and the expectation is that all of our staff would carry out these procedures in the manner in which they appear in our policy. So we would seek to provide a supportive and safe environment for the child making that disclosure. We would praise the student for disclosing. We would appreciate the student who's experienced bullying's need for a resolution and a just resolution. It's important that we inform parents, and that's not just the parents of the student that's been bullied, but also the students of the parents of the alleged bully. It's important, and we know from our parent feedback that it's really important that feedback is given to students who have experienced bullying. We understand from our students through listening to our students during Anti-Bullying Week that actually they want to know what's happened as a result of their disclosure. And we've highlighted that to our staff as a really important procedure that needs to be undertaken. We absolutely recognise the need for using agencies as appropriate. That could be agencies to support students through bullying, through counselling, through referrals to young people's worker. But that could also be pointing parents and signposting different agencies that can support parents as well. And importantly, it's about bringing about that lasting change in behaviour. So us thinking about those educational consequences, actually, we understand that there needs to be a change in young people's behaviour, and we acknowledge our responsibility in educating young people to get it right in future and to stop any behaviour that displays bullying. So I also thought it would be helpful to highlight the different ways that you can report incidents of bullying. And again, this has been shared with all of our students. We have a dedicated email address, antibullying@bassingbournevc.org. In addition to that, you can, of course, contact your student's mentor or relevant achievement lead. Students can complete a peer postcard. They're available across the college. They were bright pink, but our student feedback told us that actually they wanted it to be white. They wanted it to be more simple. That form is also available online, and that's a discreet way, a confidential way, and it can be an anonymous way. Students don't need to put their names on those, of referring any concerns they've got around bullying. And of course, we encourage our students that have either witnessed, observed, or experienced bullying to speak to a member of school staff, a trusted member of school staff. I wanted to highlight Appendix 2 to you. What should you do if you think your child is being bullied? We've been working this year with the Anti-Bullying Alliance. So our policy is absolutely taken into account the advice that we've been given to them through various training sessions they've led with members of our pastoral staff team. In addition to a wealth of research and discussions we've had across our trust schools around anti-bullying and around the actions that other schools have taken, and some of the positive experience that they've had in terms of giving advice and guidance to their parents. We've put all of this information within one document that you can access in Appendix 2 of our policy, and it hopefully should speak you through in terms of actually how to support your child if they are being bullied, but also if you begin to understand that your child is perhaps being a bully. And there's a wealth of support and resources that we've put on there that students and parents as well may benefit from accessing. So in terms of our strategy, we recognise that this is absolutely part of a journey. And that we need to have a continued commitment to preventing bullying within our school. As part of our kind of year-long action plan for this year, the first stage of that was absolutely about reflecting on our current policy and procedure, which is actually now done. And as you can see, that policy has been ratified and is now on our school website. We've absolutely listened to our students. We held a survey in October, and we had almost the entire school, almost all of our students complete that survey. And we used the information within that to highlight particular issues within school around bullying, and to try and address those through the actions that we're taking this year. We have recruited anti-bullying ambassadors across the school. They are 16 of our students across years 9 and 10. They have undergone external training through the Diana Trust Award, and they are now working to advise school leaders and school staff to give a real student perspective around bullying and the actions that they feel that we could take to prevent bullying within our own school. And as I've already alluded to, we have been working in partnership with the Anti-Bullying Alliance. We have been working with them since October of last year. We all enjoyed celebrating Anti-Bullying Week. We thought specifically around this concept of kindness and behaving in a kind way, and considering the different actions that we could make that were kind. In addition to that, they provided us with a wealth of resources, and we've been using those in PSHE lessons and in mentor times. And our year 7 and year 9 year groups experienced a fantastic production that was delivered by Tick Box Productions a couple of weeks ago. And in addition to that, through that day, they did some work thinking about creating a whole school anti-bullying charter. And then additionally, we are about to launch a pilot scheme with our year 7s and 8s, a wellbeing app called Tranquility. More information around that will follow. But what that will give us is a wealth of information that's bespoke to our school around how to support individual students, but also how to pick up on themes across the school, so we can use that information to tailor our mentor time sessions and our PSHE programme to respond to the concerns that our individual students have, particularly around wellbeing, mental health, and anti-bullying. In terms of dealing with incidents and the actual procedures that we will take, we have created a flowchart that is again available within the bullying policy that I'd absolutely urge you to have a look and familiarise yourself with, particularly if you're keen to understand those processes and the actions that we would take. In terms of moving forward, this is an evolving project, and we're really keen to hear parents' views and thoughts on our policies, in addition to any good ideas you've got around how we can continue to promote a preventing bullying policy within our school. If you have any questions, please do let me know. Thank you very much for your time.